it's been making him crazy, and he doesn't know what to do. Yeah, he doesn't know what to do. So yeah, during the time when he's, going around the town trying to make people happy, apparently it doesn't work out. He goes to a hospital to make the children happy of what they're going through. He's trying to make them laugh, trying to cheer the children up in the children's hospital. And apparently things doesn't work out because he has his gun in his pants and it falls out through his pants, and he tries to hide it as quickly as he can, but they all see the gun. And the children start kind of laughing about it, thinking that it's a joke, it's a fake gun, when it's actually a real one. And they had to, kick him out of the hospital. And so, apparently, on that day, on that night, he gets fired. All right, he gets fired from his job. He loses his job all because of his kind of friend that ruins it for him. All right, it ruins it for him. All right, if he hadn't taken that gun or given him that gun in the first place, then he would have kept his job. He would have moved on with his life. He would have made more money, and he would have been happier and getting his dream job than ever. All right, and so yeah, his friend, that gun ruined his life. And apparently, we all know how the Joker started. And yeah, so, anyways, yeah, apparently the gun falls out, he gets fired, and apparently he starts losing it. Alright, he starts losing it, and that's when he commits those subway train kills with those Gotham City workers from the Wayne Enterprises. And then after that, he runs to this restroom, and that's when he starts dancing. All right, he does his own Joker dance, showing on who he truly is and that he does exist, and he's completely lost it and finally freeing himself. And which is actually one of my most favorite scenes. One of my most favorite scenes throughout the entire movie is the Joker dance in the restroom. I mean, I really, really love that scene. I'll never forget the day when I saw it on the big screen in theaters, and yeah, it was. I really liked it. It was really good. He did like Joaquin Phoenix did a very good job with all the dancing, throughout the movie. And so, anyways, yeah, he dances in the restroom and he looks in the mirror and showing who he truly is. So yeah, and then after that, he leaves his job, and he punches that clock, showing this job. Screw you, I don't need this job. Go, whatever. And so, anyways, after that, he leaves his job, and apparently he finds out about the subway kills with the guys that they're announcing it on the TV news. And he knows about it, but nobody else knows about it, and he doesn't really care. He thinks it's funny, and he's tired thinking that it's not funny. And so, yeah. So apparently, he goes to a mental hospital, which is Arkham Asylum in Gotham City, and he's trying to find a way how to make himself better, and he wants to know about his mother, on what happened to him as a child, on why she's sending Thomas Wayne these letters, why she's acting this way, and why she's doing this, and he just doesn't know, and he's upset about it. And apparently, he has a problem with Thomas Wayne because, well, like, I don't know why he has a problem with him because of what Thomas Wayne is doing, on what he's gonna do to help Gotham City. Apparently, he doesn't agree with it. And so, anyways, he goes to Arkham Asylum and he steals these files from the clerk, and apparently he finds out the truth. All right, he finds out the actual truth about his mother and what happened to him as a kid. And like I said earlier, his parents, or adopted parents, they never tell about his real parents, but apparently his parents hurted him when he was a child, and that's why he had all on him. And so, yeah, and he found out the truth that his mother was crazy and delusion and all that, and that his kind of father left him and her as a child, and his mother never told him about it. And when he goes and visits little Bruce Wayne at little Bruce Wayne's at his mansion, all right, at his mansion. And like I found it pretty surprising that they pulled it off in the movie because they showed Bruce Wayne as the Batman. Well, yeah, they show little Bruce Wayne and younger Alfred at the mansion, which I found really, really cool. Like, I knew what was gonna happen, alright? I knew it was gonna happen because, it's a part of Batman, the Batman universe. And so, yeah, they showed that scene. I found it pretty surprising. Well, not that surprising because, well, I already know what happens. And apparently, just in case if you didn't know, and I don't know if this is true, but I believe that the Batman and the Joker are like half brothers, all right? I believe they're half brothers because, Thomas Wayne was in a relationship with the Joker's mother, and, they had him. They had him together, they adopted him, and apparently he left her, cheated on her, and went with Martha Wayne, and that's when they had Bruce Wayne. So if I'm wrong, I believe they are half brothers, but we never go on the backstory with the real parents on what really happens. Yeah, so anyways, so yeah, that's what really happens. Anyways, after that, the movie continues on and it goes on. So after that, Alfred finds him and he tells him to go away, get away from my son, and apparently, oh yeah, what am I thinking? What am I thinking? Apparently, Arthur Fleck finds out that Murray Franklin was making fun of him. Apparently, he finds out that Murray Franklin was making fun of him because, well, Murray Franklin thinks that if anybody can do better when his job, well, apparently he thinks not, that he is like much better than anyone, and apparently Arthur Fleck knows that he's just like the rest of those people out there in Gotham City. And so yeah, apparently he gets humiliated, and he is humiliated because he made fun of him on live television, which really makes him angry and really upsets him, and he starts losing it again. Apparently, Arthur Fleck tries to a few times kill himself throughout the movie, but apparently it doesn't work, and he starts losing it. Like, the movie shows its actual true effect and realism on what he went through, and it totally caught me. All right, it totally caught me on what it went through, because when it pulls you in, it shows you how it truly feels with the music, with the acting, on what they're showing us, what they're going through. It really catches you. So yeah, he tries doing that to himself, but it doesn't work. And apparently, Arthur Fleck gets involved with all these. Well, as a matter of fact, I'd rather not explain that, but yeah, he gets involved with it, and apparently they have a problem with Thomas Wayne too, because apparently Thomas Wayne wants to make Gotham better because of what all the people has been doing throughout the city, and apparently it's been literally making everybody mad and angry in Gotham City. So yeah, I don't want to get too far in there, but yet apparently he meets Thomas Wayne, and he tries to tell him that, where have you been, Dad? Why aren't you here with me, Dad? Why aren't you giving me a hug? Dad, where have you been, Dad? And apparently Thomas Wayne kept on telling him that, you're not my son, I'm not your dad, just go off and don't ever touch my son ever again. And so anyways, yeah, he punches him in the nose, and apparently it was not the response he was expecting. So yeah. And yeah, the movie goes on, the movie goes throughout, and apparently he gets a call from the Murray Franklin show, one of the workers, and they're asking him if they want him to be on Murray Franklin show because they liked what they saw on live TV from that other comedy place. And apparently, he accepts it. He says yes, but apparently he has a plan on to kill Murray Franklin because he made fun of him. And so, yeah, throughout the movie, he's going throughout the city, he's moving around throughout the city, and before he goes to the Murray Franklin show, um, apparently his friends come over. They meet him at his apartment, but he's so mad at his tall friend, and well, we all know what happens, but I don't want to get too far into that because it gets really, really graphic. Apparently, he kills his friend with the scissors because he ruined his life, and after that, he tells his little friend that he's gonna be on the show, and his friend is scared of him now, and I don't know if he trusts him anymore. And he basically tells him the truth, alright? He tells him the truth that he was the only one that was ever nice to him throughout the entire movie, alright? He was the only one that was nice to him, which I believe it, and I know it. I liked the little guy character, and he was the only one that was ever nice to him. And so anyways, after that, he escapes, and that's when he starts dancing on the stairs, which is also one of my other favorite scenes throughout the movie. I really liked all the scenes, all the dance scenes that Joaquin Phoenix practices and performs throughout the entire movie, and I really, really like it because the actual real Joker doesn't really dance, alright? The real character Joker doesn't really dance. But in this version, well, this one dances, alright? This one dances to the music, and he likes the music and he loves to dance, which I'm cool with that. I think it totally goes with the actual character on what he's going through, and that he likes to dance and he likes the music, which I totally agree with. It goes with him. And so anyways, yeah. So anyways, after that, like the Joker is dancing on the stairs, and like to me, like I probably wouldn't be able to do it on those stairs because if I were to try dancing on those stairs, I probably would fall easily and get hurt. I probably would not be able to do it. But yeah, anyways, and that's when those two officers' characters see him and discovered on who he truly was and what he actually did, and Arthur Fleck, the Joker, escapes, alright? He escapes and he goes through the train, and then after that he goes through the train with all these other people wearing clown makeup, wearing the clown masks, and apparently a gunshot goes off in the train, and apparently all the clowns get mad and start beating the crap out of these two police officers. And that's when the Joker starts laughing about it and thinking it's funny, and he walks out through the train station to the Murray Franklin show. And that's where the actual truth and the actual finale sets in throughout the entire movie. And so anyways, so anyways, so throughout the movie, he goes to the Murray Franklin show, and he's gonna try and do he's gonna try and tell his jokes on being a comedian. But apparently Murray Franklin makes fun of him a second time during the beginning of the show, and he sees it and he realizes it. And apparently he says that he doesn't believe in anything anymore, and he wants to tell his jokes to everyone. He wants to make people laugh and happy, but he's actually there with an actual plan to get Murray Franklin. And so and so yeah, that's what he's planning to do. So after that, he goes on the show, and apparently like he sits there for a second on thinking on what he's gonna do, and apparently he says that this is just how I imagined it. This is just how I dreamed it. And so he says that apparently he looks through his book on what he wrote in, and he says one of his bad jokes that he says from his book, and apparently Murray Franklin doesn't like it. This is not the type of joke that we do on this show. And so And so he says that he apologizes for the joke he told because, well, you know why. And apparently he said that it's been he's been through a lot of it's been a rough few weeks. All right, it's been a rough few weeks of what he went through throughout the movie, and apparently, and that's when I surprisingly was surprised that he actually admitted what he did in the movie. All right, he admitted his crime in the movie, which I found very surprisingly because I don't think no ever real would ever admit it. So yeah, I found that very surprising, and so like they don't believe him at first, but he actually tells them that it's not a joke. There's no punchline, and apparently they see that he's serious, that he actually committed those subway train kills with those men, and they're asking him why he did it. He said because that the world nowadays is just terrible. All right, everybody is terrible these days, and he doesn't like it because nobody is like nobody is civil anymore. Nobody thinks what it's like to be the other guy, and apparently everybody just yells and screams at each other. And so yeah, everybody does that these days, and like nobody's civil anymore. And like apparently it also says that he has a huge problem with Thomas Wayne because apparently Thomas Wayne he like thinks that they're just gonna take it like good little boys and that he's gonna help them out, which it's actually gonna it's it's gonna cause some chaos out there. People are gonna be mad, and it's gonna get out of control. And that's why he thinks that Thomas Wayne is not gonna be a good mayor in Gotham City in DC Comics. So yeah, he does have a problem with him. And so then after that, and Murphy Franklin tries to tell him that that is so much negativity that he's telling and making up an excuse for those three young men. And I'm saying that not everybody, and I mean not everybody, is awful. But then that's when the Joker snares at him and he tells him, "But you're awful. You're just like the rest of them. You just wanted to invite me on the show and make fun of me. You're just like the rest of them." And Murray Franklin tells Arthur Fleck, you do not know a thing about me, all right? You don't even know what I did. Look what you did. What is going on out there? There are riots. There are riots going on out there because of what you did, all right? Somebody was in a critical condition to the police officers the other day because of what you did. You don't know anything about me. And then that's when the Joker starts losing it again, and he says, "How about another joke?" "I don't think so. We had enough of your jokes. No way." And so that's when the Joker starts telling his joke, and he says, "You get what you deserve, all right? You get what you deserve." And he shoots him in the head, which I also find really surprising because before the movie, I actually did not know on what was going to happen to Murray Franklin throughout the show, throughout that. Was he going to get killed or was he not? I don't know. It was up in the air for me. And so anyways, yeah. Oh. Yeah, so anyways, after that, he shoots Mary Franklin in the head and everybody starts screaming. They start getting out of the show. Everybody knows who he truly is, and it actually creates a lot of riots, all right? It creates a lot of riots throughout Gotham City. And he pulls the camera and he says, "Well, thank you for watching. And remember, that's life." So yeah, he tells him that, and that's when it cuts, and that's when the police officers come in and tackle him down and try to take him to jail. And throughout the entire car ride, you see all these riots, all these huge riots of all these clowns, all these people doing all these bad things in Gotham City, and half the city is on fire. And the police officers don't like it and say that, "Look at what you did. Half the city's on fire because of what you did." And the Joker, thinking that it's funny and thinking in his head, he said, "I don't care. I think it's funny. I don't care." And so anyways, so yeah, After that, apparently a clown in an ambulance, when the officers are trying to arrest him, they crash. They crash the police officer's car, and another car flips over. And that's when all the people were acting crazy. They were all cheering, and all the other clowns were trying to get Arthur Fleck out of the car. And when they get Arthur Fleck out, they kept telling him, get up, come on, get up, get up. They're all cheering for him, all right? They're all cheering for him because he is the one that started. He is the true king of crime and villains in all of DC Comics and all of Gotham City. So yeah, okay, in all of Gotham City. And so yeah, they start cheering for him. And I will be honest with you, I wanted to cheer for him, but I couldn't because of all the bad things that he did, and it was kind of hard, and it was really confusing, and it was kind of hard to not cheer for him because I think he's a cool villain. He's a very cool character, and he's not a superhero. He doesn't save people. And so, anyways, yeah, they all cheered for him because of what he did and how he started it. And then after all the cheering,